I'm Elise and welcome to our Baby Bunting Live Series episode 4. Tonight I've got Arron with me from Baby on Board and we're going to be discussing child restraints and have some hints and tips to help you choose the right one. So thank you Arron for coming tonight and helping us with our live series.
Thank you, Elise.
Thanks so much. So I guess I'd like to know a little bit more about how you came to be with Baby Bunting and Baby on Board.
Thank you and welcome everyone from watching. It's a subject I'm really passionate about and love to educate people. Baby on Board are Baby Bunting's division of professional child restraint installers, and we have been assisting parents and carers in the installation and correct use of child restraints for over 16 years and currently are fitting around 80,000 restraints nationally.
So what range of services do Baby on Board provide our customers through Baby Bunting?
Our team of passionate professional installers are not only there to help you install your restraints, but to guide you through a sometimes confusing area with good best practice advice.
And I think that's the most important thing. We've got Baby on Board there to provide that education and that information to our customers when they're going through some of the most overwhelming times in their lives at this point in time. So currently, with the current restrictions in place, are you still providing those services to our customers?
Yes, we are still operating a contactless service, adhering to strict guidelines to protect not only you, your children, but also our staff.
And how would we make that installation booking?
It's very easy. You look on the Baby Bunting website. In the top right hand corner there's an icon, you click on that and you follow the process to make a booking, or alternatively ring your local store and one of our team members can help you through the process.
Fantastic. Now I've got a few questions already from our customers, but if you would like to have one of your questions answered, please pop it in the comments box so we can answer it at the end of this series for you. So I guess what are some of the key considerations that a parent or a carer would need to take into account when choosing a child restraint, Arron?
And firstly, and most importantly, that it's appropriate for the child's size and age. We need to place them in a restraint that's going to optimise their safety in a vehicle. Other factors may be the size of your car, the size of your family, your lifestyle, and that's that.
So some of the important things that a parent should consider though, when they're actually looking for that actual capsule?
Is it going to fit appropriately in their vehicle? As say, they may want to look at a capsule or a convertible car seat for those initial stages to give them some flexibility and be able to take some alternatives there.
So why should I actually seek that professional help and get on board and book my Baby on Board installation appointment?
You need to be sure that the restraint that you purchase is going to do the job it's designed to do at the second it's meant to do it. And sadly, statistics tell us 70 to 80% of child restraints are used and fitted incorrectly. So to be sure, seek assistance of a Baby on Board professional and you can be comfortable that it's going to work at its optimum.
And I think that's fantastic, that we know that we've got you at the end of the phone, we've got you in person if we have that installation there. So when should I be looking to actually book my installation appointment?
Yeah. And we can get caught out by this. Babies don't always turn up when you expect them to. I know the due date is something that we sort of set our sights on, but it can alter. So be prepared, something to tick off your list and be proactive. So weeks beforehand, we would suggest a month beforehand would be a pertinent time frame to operate in.
And I guess there are some customers out there who might be looking at fitting multiple seats in their car. So what advice can you give them if they're needing to look at the multiple seat option for their...
As I said in the introduction, we fit 80,000 restraints a year. That gives us a great depth of knowledge into what options work for you. A car that might have fitted 2 car seats well may not work as well with 3. So rather than go out and buy a new car straight away, that's a huge commitment for a young family. Investigate the options. Come down and see our team of in-store staff or installers so they can best advise you what's going to puzzle together in your car.
So when I'm first starting out as a parent or as a carer, what's the difference between a capsule and a convertible restraint?
Good question. Both are able to travel, a child to travel home in from the hospital initially. Both are from day one. A capsule gives you the versatility of removal from the vehicle like a travel system to be then connected to a pram and then and have more mobility while the base stays in the car. And when you return, you engage it back into the base. A convertible car seat, like this one here, stays in the vehicle, but gives you a greater lifespan.
Okay. I guess so. Can you explain why the infant is sitting in rearward facing?
It's a really good question too, and a question that often comes up from our customers. It's really important. Rearward facing is without doubt the safest way to travel for an infant. We've been strong advocates for rearward facing for many, many years. Extended rearward facing is what we suggest. A child should stay rearward facing as long as possible. Many seats now have the capacity to keep a child rearward facing for up to 30 months or when they meet the top height marker. I'll just demonstrate those height markers so everyone can understand what I'm talking about. In the seat, there's some height indicators that say this is the minimum a child should turn around, this is the maximum. And when we talk about child safety, we should always focus on the maximum.
Okay, so that would be your recommendation to parents, to keep them in that rearward facing position for as long as possible?
Absolutely. It really is very important that a child remain rearward facing for years, not months. It offers them the maximum protection. There's, as an infant really isn't developed, we want to keep them rearward facing. It can be up to 5 times safer.
I guess that's something that often as parents we don't know at that point in time, and we often want to change them through those stages as quickly as possible, because it is something which we look forward to see them going through from that stages, as you see, from a newborn to that toddler, that we want to move them in. But your recommendations are to keep them that rearward facing for as long as possible.
I do understand parents wanting to turn them around and see them, but if you weigh up the risks involved in that, it's quite simple to keep them rearward as long as possible.
So I guess after a child is put in that forward facing position, what are my next steps then to be looking for?
Okay. A forward facing position, still utilising the harness, and we should keep a child in this, again, with every restraint, as long as we can, to the limit of the seat. So a child can be in this till the upper height marker or 4 years old.
Okay.
But once they progress out of this, move them into a seat that has an internal harness. Racing drivers wear internal harnesses, 5-point harnesses. It's infinitely safer. It holds the child in by the strong areas of their body, and that can be up to 8 years old.
Okay. So what then options do I have if I'm moving them out of the actual 5-point harness convertible seat at that point? So they're moving out of that into another seat?
Yeah, there is another category of seat that takes, so this would travel up to 4 years old or a top height marker. There's another category of seat that takes them up to 8 years old, and again, they need to meet the top height marker with an internal harness.
So then when is it appropriate to then move my child out of a restraint altogether?
That's a very good question. And this is where the laws have some contradiction with best practice. The law says a child can travel in an adult seatbelt at 7. A 7-year-old doesn't always have the stature of an adult. So they can be this tall or this tall. Mm-hmm. And you see this height marker here, 145. That is what we strongly recommend a child should be before they leave a child restraint. And that's taller than you think, Elise, isn't it?
Well, I'm actually having a look, and it's not too much shorter than what I am right now. So thinking that, I probably didn't reach that height till I was quite a bit older than a 7 or 8-year-old.
And I drop my children at school, and I see many children in the front seats of cars who shouldn't be placed there. The front seat of a car is for an adult. It's called an adult seatbelt because it's designed for adults. Do keep children in restraints as long as possible. I will just grab a booster seat here to show you the limits that they go to. A booster seat now will hold a child well around 10 to 12 years old.
So I guess what you're saying is keep them in that restraint. If that child hasn't outgrown that height marker, leave them in there. It's still suitable for them.
It's providing them greater safety. Okay. It's spreading the load over those strong parts of their body, giving them side impact protection and torso protection, where an adult seatbelt doesn't protect a child because it's not designed for a child.
So I guess with what you're saying, it does go, I guess, above and beyond than what some of the laws are out there putting in for our road restraint laws. Is that something that you would recommend to all of our customers?
Absolutely. The laws should be taken as a minimum. And then when we talk about child safety, the minimum isn't the benchmark we should be aiming for. We should be aiming for the maximum. Children are precious, we need to protect them. And there are risks involved with driving, and we need to manage and minimise those risks by cradling children in an appropriate child restraint as long as possible.
Okay, so I guess we may have some questions out there from our consumers there at the point in time. Nat, we'll flick it to you to see if we've got any questions to help answer, I guess, and go through some of their queries, their concerns that they might have at this point in time.
Yep, so Sarah on Instagram has said that she understands that she shouldn't turn her child around until they are older, but doesn't fully understand why and the implications of what could happen to her little one if she turns them around or if she forward faces them too early. Could you go into a little bit of detail on that?
In an accident, there's huge forces, or in a crash, I shouldn't say accident, because often there's some blame involved, so they're not happening by accident, they're crashes. There's huge forces. A child's development, a child's spine, a child's structure can't withstand those forces. Facing rearward is so much safer. Often a lot of the forces are in the forward motion. Let me put this seat down so it makes sense. The seats are at an angle. The child would get pushed into the seat, their spine and their head in the same plane. If you turn a child around prematurely or too soon or until before they've reached the maximum that seat protection that seat can offer, then there's chances for their head to move forward at a greater extent to their body, and that can cause serious injury, if not worse.
So what would be the minimum that a baby on board installer would actually turn a child around at?
We've taken quite a brave stance. We won't turn a child around until they're at least 12 months and they meet the height marker. And we find in many cases children don't meet the minimum, and again, that's the minimum height marker. We want children to stay rearward to the maximum. They won't meet the minimum height marker until greater than 12 months old, far greater than 12 months old.
Okay, do we have another question out there from our...
So we've been asked on Instagram, what is the price range to get a car seat installed with Baby Bunting?
Okay, it's just one set price, it's $45. That's a 20-minute appointment, and in that appointment we won't only install your seat, we'll educate you in the use of your seat. One of the things can happen, you come out of the hospital with this small little bundle and you think, how does that fit in there? We've taken the time to show you how to, and try and reduce the stress at that moment. So that there's no argument in the car park. You both understand and are aware of how it works and why it works, and you drive home having that lovely drive home with that first baby you should have.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for... Whoops, we may have another question there. Well,
sorry, one more question on Instagram. Should I get a capsule, or is it safer to get a 0 to 4 convertible car seat from the start?
They're both equally as safe. Again, it's what we spoke about earlier. It's a lifestyle choice. A child can travel home from the hospital in a convertible car seat or a capsule. It's a personal preference. This gives you the flexibility of being able to move the child around and put them in a pram. This stays in the vehicle, what will give you a longer lifespan on the restraint. You want anything to that, Elise?
no, I think it just comes down to your lifestyle and what's best going to suit you. And that's where, I guess, coming in, having a chat to the installers, having a chat to the Baby Bunting team members, who can then go through your lifestyle and finding a package and a solution that's going to help you navigate through those early months of when you've got this brand new little one, which is all brand new to you, and they're getting into a routine. So it's just finding the solutions which is going to make it as simple and easy for you. And that's what we're all here, Baby Bunting, Baby on Board, are all here to help you through this journey. And I guess we're wrapping it up now, but we just want to... Oh, we've got another question. Gosh, this is live, and they keep throwing questions at us. We might be here all night.
So Amy on Facebook has asked, if you just have one newborn child, does the car seat have to be installed behind the passenger seat, or can it go behind the driver's seat? Does location in the back matter?
There are many reports that try and work out the safest place in the car. I've read many reports in my journey through this industry. We talk about the pros and cons to a customer, and we discuss that what works best for them. There is no safe place in the car. Cars are dangerous places to be. That's why we want to cradle our children in restraints as much as and as long as possible. So that's a negotiation and a consultation we have with individual customers, what works best for them.
And I think part of that safety is having a right restraint which fits your child at that stage, and actually having it professionally fitted to make sure that it's going to do exactly what you need it to do in the event that there ever was that accident at that point in time.
Yes, it has to do exactly what you want to do in that picosecond that the worst case scenario happens.
Okay, so Jess on Instagram may have joined a little bit late and would like to know, does forward facing go by age or weight or height?
All the seats on sale at the moment have height markers as an indicator or a gauge to give the parents an idea of when to turn them around. That is the minimum height marker. Hopefully you can see that. And let's raise it up a little bit more. Even though I'm sitting this in the forward facing position, I'm focusing on those height markers. The minimum height requirement to turn a child around is there, so age doesn't come into it, although we say age is a factor because it's development. Age comes with development, or development comes with age. So a baby on board, we are strong advocates for rearward facing, keep a child rearward as long as possible, but the minimum age is 12 months and meet the height marker. They have to meet both criteria to turn around. And as I said, I believe less than 50% of children will meet the height marker at 12 months. We should be pushing that because it's safe, simply safer.
Now, David on Instagram has asked if it's okay to use a second-hand car seat.
Good question. Always buy a new, if you can, a new car seat. If you know the history of it, friend, family, colleague, but buying off of marketplaces, online, you just don't know the history. Has it been involved in an accident? I often say, would you use a second-hand parachute? And the answer would be, I would say no. So this is a parachute for infants.
So, Arron, if you do have a car accident, do you have to replace the car seat?
Absolutely,
You need to get a new one?
yeah. A severe car accident, the restraint needs to be replaced because it may not perform at 100% of its capabilities. Like a crash helmet on a motorbike, you have an accident, you replace it. This is a safety product, and we need to keep it working as optimum.
Okay, well, Arron, thank you so much for coming tonight to talk to us about child restraints. We know that there'll probably be more questions which will pop up and they'll be answered online after we've finished our live series. But I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight and joining with us. And we look forward to seeing you again soon, maybe later this week But thank you so much, and please stay safe, and we'll see you all again soon.
Yes, thank you, and look forward to seeing you at Baby Bunting.
Bye-bye.